creation for the purpose of joy and love. 14. God is an absolute and unique being. But no matter how high he is, as long as he is alone, he can have no joy and no fun. Living alone can never be joyful or fun. Consider, for example, a legal scholar without parallel in the entire world, or a man who possesses the power and authority to control the world with his every word. Even in such positions, people are not happy if they are by themselves. They have nothing to feel joyful about. 15. Why did God create heaven and earth? I want a man like me and a woman like me, with substantial forms, so I can watch them running about. It is fun to watch them, and that is why I created them. Do you like him saying this? Or, watching the two run about is good, but more than that, I want to see them embrace each other and frolic together. Which one do you prefer? After all is said and done, God wanted to see men and women loving each other. Do you think that God would rather see men and women competing against each other or loving each other? He wants to see them love each other. From the beginning, love was the original motivation behind the creation of the universe. Therefore, it is perfectly logical to conclude that God will show himself to this created world as the original being of love. 16. God is absolute and unique in himself, so why did he create the universe? Even though he is the being of absolute love, life and ideal, he cannot fulfill any of these by himself. No matter how great, God cannot realize his love and ideal by himself. Hence, he created the universe to realize that love and ideal. Again, why did God create human beings? It was to experience joy and happiness. He cannot experience joy and happiness on his own. If he were alone, he would not find joy or happiness in anything. He created so that he could have a relationship with his object partners. 17. Why did God create heaven and earth? Why did he create Adam and Eve? It was to experience joy. It was for him to be happy. He wanted to enter into Adam and become the incorporeal father, and to make Adam the corporeal father. Therefore, Adam had to become God with a substantial form. It was the same for Eve. Why does God need a substantial form? God needs it because without a form he cannot directly govern the substantial world that he created. That is why, as God, he needs to assume a substantial form. Thus, God created Adam and Eve to become his substantial forms. So Adam and Eve must become one in body with God. 18. Just because the things of creation were made by the absolute being, they are not automatically endowed with absolute value. They only attain that by becoming God's inseparable partners. As human beings, we must recover the absolute position of his partners by centering on the absolute being. The fact that the one and only absolute being created us human beings as his partners means that our position too should be absolute. The absolute being cannot experience joy alone. This is because joy cannot be realized on one's own. 19. In order to create human beings, God first created all other things along the way. From the first day through the fifth day of creation, when God looked at all the things he had created, he felt boundless excitement, hope and immeasurable joy. Then he created Adam and Eve, our first ancestors, as the lords of all creation. He blessed them with a heart of infinite joy, saying, "Be fruitful, multiply and fill the earth." These words of blessing, to be fruitful, multiply and fill the earth, mean that God created human beings for the purpose of joy. Furthermore, God blessed human beings' creation for the purpose of joy and love.